Hello everyone, this is Red Robot, and today we're going to be talking about that one age-old question that has plagued TF2 players for a millennia, and that is just how good is the Manmelter? In order to kick things off, let's just first start with a quick rundown of the Manmelter stats. So to start with, it's got plus 50% projectile speed, and this is great for hitting long-range enemies. It's possibly one of the Pyro's best options for attacking long-range foes, because things like the flare gun can be easily strafed to avoid. The plus 50% projectile speed doesn't seem like much, but actually does a lot and makes your shots more reliable, and this is essential when it comes to gaining crits. Now, it also does not require ammo. This is very minor. I don't think this even really matters. It allows you to spam a lot more. However, the slow firing speed kind of makes this upside pointless. The alt fire extinguishes teammates to gain guaranteed critical hits. This is probably the most interesting stat of the weapon. Instead of going for the mini crits or crits on burning targets, instead the Manmelter allows you to put out teammates in order to gain crits to inflict on enemy players. As I said before, this synergizer is great with the increased projectile speed, which means your shots are going to be a lot more reliable, but at the same time, the Manmelter has a brutal 20% firing speed penalty, which can kind of hinder you putting out all those crits that you can store out by putting out teammates. It's very obvious from the item set itself and the way this weapon is designed is that it was meant for use with the Phlogistinator. It works with the Phlogistinator really well for a variety of reasons. First of all, because the Phlog lacks any air blast, it's great for being able to put out your teammates. It can be pretty frustrating when there's a Phlog Pyro on your team without the Manmelter because he's completely unable to put out the fire and you'll burn to death right in front of him. Another reason it works great with Phlogistinator is because these stored crits you can gain with the Manmelter are a great 90 damage way to boost up your imp meter to set off your Phlog and set a whole bunch more people on fire. So they're just a really awesome combo together. The only reason I'm using the Manmelter without the Phlog in these clips is simply just because I've used the Phlog to death on my channel and I wanted to try something a little bit different. Plus, I wanted to keep it kind of focused more on the Manmelter, and I reckon if I had it with the Phlog, it would basically just be Phlog highlights and nothing else. In comparison to the other flare guns, the Manmelter is really terrible. It doesn't have that kind of burst assassination damage of the flare gun in most situations, and doesn't have the kind of area of effect of things like the Scorch Shot or the Detonator, or even the movement mechanics of them. But what it is good at, and what it really excels at, as I stated before, is the kind of long-range combat. You can really harass classes like snipers even harder than ever before. Like, they're not going to enjoy taking a 90 damage crit followed by afterburn. It's pretty insane. Of course, the increased projectile speed is not only effective for long-range enemies, you're going to be able to utilize your stored crits really effectively because that increased projectile speed makes your shots super reliable, and at close range you're pretty much guaranteed that damage, which is really nice. The unlimited ammo stat kind of doesn't really matter because with its firing speed penalty and lack of normal crits or even random crits on enemies, this weapon, you're going to run into some serious damage problems, and it's a really awful option if you don't have any crits stored up. It's kind of like the old Diamondback, where it was really useless if the enemy had no NGs. If the enemy team has no Pyros, or God forbid something like a Huolong Heater Heavy or a Cowmangler Soldier, you're going to find this weapon to be really useless. Plus, there's that really huge explosion of flame that comes whenever you use this weapon. It can make it really difficult to see what you're doing. That being said, if the enemy does have a ton of pyros and you're able to put out lots of teammates, this weapon can come in clutch. Its damage is really high, and it's really nice to have just a kind of instant form of damage. As pyro, you're used to having to wombo combo everything in order to get anything done, whereas this weapon is just click, 90 damage, and although the firing speed might be slow, sometimes that 90 damage plus afterburn is all you need. However, I do believe this weapon is open for a lot of really nice changes in the future. To start with, in order to solve its kind of Diamondback problem, where it's only useful if there's fire on the other team, you could sort of give it the Diamondback solution, give it a sort of generic way in order to gain crits. And I think a really nice way to do that would be to have some sort of interaction with the Phlog's oomph meter, make the links between these two weapons even stronger. I've seen a really nice buff post which suggested that the Pyro's Manmelter will gain crits during the duration of the oomph, just like the Phlog. I reckon that would be a really cool way to do it. So not only do you have your close range crits with your Phlog, you've also got a long range option with your Manmelter, and it might actually make the Manmelter kind of usable in some situations. Another way to solve it would be to reduce or remove the firing speed penalty. I don't think Manmelters being spammed non-stop is ever going to be a massive problem, and the firing speed penalty just makes this weapon really awkward to use, and you just can't abuse those 90 damage crits you have. I don't think it's dangerous enough, even if you get like a ton of crits with it. I mean, it's nothing you couldn't have done with the flare gun or the detonator. Just come on, give this weapon a little chance to shine. Another change that would make this weapon a little bit more pleasant to use would be some sort of visual indication. I know it plays the little sound when it's ready to fire, but because the firing speed's longer than normal, it's sort of awkward sitting there waiting for the noise to play. If there could be some sort of indication, like the little liquid in the guns, like filling up when it's about to fire, that'd be neat. Just a small tweak like this would make transitioning from a normal flare gun to this weapon just that much easier. So, all up as to how good is the Manmelter, I'm gonna have to say it's not very good. It's great for highlight reels, the stored crits function is super fun to play with, and it's great if you have sort of teammates to work with that are helping you get lots of crits stored up. But other than that, it functions most of the time like a special needs flare gun, and it could really use with a few additional stats or a few buffs to make it just a little bit more unique and a whole lot more usable. Well, that's all I got for you right now. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you guys next time.